What is up, everyone? Welcome to Breaking Boards. I have myself, Randy, Ben, who has a new heading today, and Michael here. We're going to give you our locks and picks of this NFL week. Look at our record from the season so far. Last week, it was a tough one, I must say. Gentlemen, by the records, I can tell y'all had a rough weekend. Are y'all ready to redeem yourselves coming week 3?
Yeah, I'll be happy to do my fades of the week. If you'll just go the opposite of what I go with, you should be in good shape.
I mean, I heard somewhere there was like the books took in the largest amount of money they'd ever taken in last week. I think it was a rough week for everybody because if you were putting in teasers, you were losing your ass. The Dallas loss, the San Francisco loss, Philly loss. I mean, it was damn near impossible to have a winning record last week. So we'll keep it moving in week 3.
Yeah, we still really don't know what these teams are yet. No, I mean, really none of the teams in the NFL. So hopefully we'll figure it out.
They don't know who they are yet. That's the problem. A lot of these teams have no identity. If they do, some of their identity is lost by the injuries they are having with their teams. Like your team, your Rams are,
Yeah,
a
they're
mash unit basically right now.
pretty much. Yep.
It's still somehow more competitive than my Panthers.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
say
but
the
we are
blue
terrible.
medical tent. I'm gonna say the blue medical tent has a better fantasy roster than I do at this point.
Yeah.
Agreed. Well, folks, we want to get you in on a little competition with us. You see, we do our locks of the week, and we have our records posted right here. We're going to get you in the fun as well. Subscribe, hit that subscribe button on these videos, and share it with the community out there. And for each subscriber, you can drop your one lock of the week in the comment box below. Each winning lock will represent one free entry into a contest at the end of the year. So, for instance, if you get a lock this week and then you get a lock week 7 and week 10, you have 3 chances to win the drawing at the end of the season for a prize that's yet to be determined. But we will, the 4 of us will collectively get that to you in a later show, in a later week. But do that, enjoy, interact with us, and let's have some fun, okay? Gentlemen, can we get started on the Thursday night game, or shall we just go ahead and pass it?
I said we get started on the Thursday night game, but just to piggyback off what you just said, you must be subscribed in order to be able to enter the contest. So subscribe, drop your lock each week, and then be entered in for the prize at the end of the season. Let's get into Thursday
Very
night.
simple. Yeah. Randy, since you are eager about Thursday night, what do you have in this Patriots-Jets matchup? By the way, Jets are at home, 6.5-point favorites. Implied total is 30.5. Roll with it.
Well, I'm very eager about this game. I think one of the most important things to think about here when we think about New England at the Jets is that I don't have a play in this game at all. So I'll just pass it off to the next person.
I actually have a lock in this game.
Oh, here we go.
Brees Hall touchdown.
Oh, okay.
Can I just
Okay.
I'm just proud. I'm so proud of Ben for his lock this week that it's not a Jeff Wilson parlay touchdown or it's not Blake Corum. But I would say if you have Brees Hall on your fantasy lineups, you probably want to take him out. We've not had the best of luck with Ben's touchdown parlays this year.
I can't believe I let you guys talk me to Jeff Wilson last week. Oh, A-Chain can't finish a game. Oh, Jeff Wilson will get a lot of touches. A-Chain gets like 28 touches or something like that.
I started Jeff Wilson in the fantasy lineup. I was allowed to.
Oh, would he get you 0.4 points?
3.8.
I actually think he was.
Oh, he had a couple
I was about to
catches.
say, I think he was under 1, but he had less fantasy points than he had injuries.
Yes. Yep.
3.8. So, hey, it was enough to win a couple of leagues. So. Michael, you got anything in this Thursday night game?
I don't have any locks. I do feel like 6.5 points for a Jets team that doesn't look very inspiring offensively. Seems like quite a bit. New England's played pretty strong to start the season. I mean, the fact that they have a win is probably surprising to some. So, I think you take Patriots plus 6.5. You're going to take anything here, but I don't love the game. I mean, it's hell. Everybody will probably be asleep by the time the third quarter starts anyway. I don't think it's going to be very exciting.
I will say that I saw a meth head over by Chick-fil-A earlier, and he was moving around. He looked pretty mobile. He's moving around, arguing with random objects. I think he may be more mobile than Aaron Rodgers at this point in Aaron's career. So maybe if you can get the meth head on the field by the third quarter, maybe the Jets can cover. But I'm with Michael on this one. I think New England almost catching a touchdown is almost disrespectful.
Well, after last week's debacle of a Thursday night game, and let's just face it, the matchup looked great on paper, and then because it's on Prime, it just died. We're back to normal, wholesome, good old Prime football on Thursday nights. This game is trash, and we will gladly move on.
It died or it twoed?
I'm not going there. I'm not going there at all.
Yeah.
Moving on. Giants at Browns on Sunday. Browns are at home, 6.5 point favorites. Another implied total of 38.5. Ben, any locks on this game?
No. I mean, I'm really on Drew Lock watch at this point, for the Giants.
So you do have a lock?
No, I don't
A
have
Drew
a
Lock.
lock. Drew Lock.
I mean, you went with Rams like third running back first week. Why not go with Giants second quarterback? Probably a safer bet.
Yeah, I know it probably is. To be honest, no, this game, no. I mean, what's the Giants gonna do with the kicker? I mean, are they actually gonna bring in the kicker, or just go let Graham Gano just still be out there even though he's injured? I mean,
wrap it up.
Yeah, yeah, I got nothing on this game.
Michael?
Yeah, it's looking like Graham Gano Good is not going to make it to this game. Man, this is another game that the point total is low. What is it, like 38.5? It's just not a lot to like in it. Honestly, the under kind of sounds good for this game, even at 38.5. I mean, these offenses have not looked good. Really, the NFL as a whole offensively has not looked near as good as it has in past years. I think I read something the other day where through 2 weeks, there's only been like 66 passing touchdowns, and 2 years ago, there's like 106 or something like that. So scoring's just down across the league. And these two offenses are bad. So if I was going to choose anything, I'd probably go under 38.5 and roll with that.
It was 66 through Sunday. We added 2 on Monday for 68. That's still way under. Like 30, nearly 30 touchdowns under last year's total for the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, and if you notice, the veteran quarterbacks are the ones doing most of the work instead of the younger quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So,
Randy, what you got?
I'm gonna pull a Ben here. I'm gonna save us. I'm gonna put a lock in. I'm gonna lock Daniel Jones under 21.5 completions. Jones has a completion percentage of 54.3 in 2024, which is the third lowest mark of the 33 quarterbacks who have started a game this year. And Cleveland allows 53.2 completion percentage to opposing quarterbacks, which is the best mark in the league during the 24 season. And they were the best team in the league during the 23 season. So I'll lock in Daniel Jones under 21.5 completions. Probably a slow game. Daniel Jones was on the Millionaire winner last week, so at least that guy's pretty happy about Daniel Jones' outlook for this season.
How is that?
Scored like 20 fantasy points. Paired him with Malik Neighbors and saved some salary and killed it with the rest of the lineup.
Yeah.
I think Jones put up like 18.9. He was actually in my 333 league. He was my quarterback in that league, and it cashed.
I'm not going with a lock in this game, but I am going to take the under. I'm not locking it, but I'm taking the under. It's just two teams that are not good at anything, basically. Cleveland's defense is probably the best thing in this entire game by far. And it's not as good as it has been in the last couple of years.
No.
But the Giants defense, or the offense, is absolutely horrendous, okay? The Giants couldn't win a game last week with a team who didn't even score a touchdown. So,
while scoring 3.
yeah, exactly. So, I mean, the Giants, yes, they didn't have a kicker, but that's not an excuse. You let a team field goal you to death. So, I will take the under in this one for sure. Let's move on. Bears at Colts. Colts are 1.5 point favorites. Implied total is 43.5. Michael, you got anything on this game?
Give me an Anthony Richardson rushing touchdown in this game. I think he got one, week 1? I think I stayed off of him last week, which it wasn't a great matchup for him. But yeah, I look for Anthony Richardson to get a touchdown in this game. The Bears defense has been okay so far, but it's probably going to be a slugfest out there. Anthony hadn't had a good hasn't really gotten to the passing game very well for the Colts yet, or at least he's not hitting Michael Pittman Jr. So I think he'll rush in the end zone in this game, get himself a touchdown. I'll lock that one in.
Randy?
I'm actually going to lock in Cairo Santos for over 5.5 kicker points. Santos ranked 7th overall in the league for kicker points so far in 2024, after ranking 4th in the NFL in 23. And Indy has allowed the second most kicker points during the 23 season, and they were tied for the 4th most early on in 24. This game's in a dome. I think Cairo Santos is just probably like the best fantasy kicker because nobody wants him. You can wait till the very last second to pick him up, and he's just constantly okay-ish enough to win you a league if you have him on your waiver wire in fantasy.
Ben?
I'll take the Indy spread at minus 1.5 on this one.
Are you locking that one in?
Yeah, I'm locking that one in.
Well, I didn't do it.
Worst.
I did, yeah. I mean,
Didn't we do this last week, Ben?
roll the tape back. Roll it back.
No, we did. I did the first half last
At
week.
minus 1.5.
How'd that go?
Yes.
Yeah, how'd
Now,
that work?
now I'm going full game minus 1.5. So yeah.
Give him a
You
little
know
more
they
time to
changed-
get that. Give him a little more time to get that 1.5. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
Give us
they
a little more time.
They changed it come Sunday morning. It had already been bet up to minus 0.5 in the first half. And they still couldn't cover it?
And they still couldn't cover it. Yeah, I know.
No. Jeez.
So, yeah. That's what I'm going with.
Okay. I got nothing this game. I got nothing at all. For time constraints, we're going to move on because the next game is probably, quote unquote, and somebody else will back me up on this, the game of the week. 2-0, Houston Texans, first place in the AFC South versus 2-0 Minnesota Vikings, first place in the NFC North. Vikings are plus 2.5 at home. Implied total is 45.5. Randy, what you got?
During the 2023 season, teams coming off playing San Francisco were 0-15. And last week, I was quite disrespectful to this Minnesota team when I said there was essentially a 99% chance that San Francisco was just going to win the game outright. And, looking back on it, that was kind of disrespectful. Sam Darnold felt disrespected. I shouldn't have effing cut him. He came back, he stuck it to us last week, and he got the win against San Francisco. But with that being said, this week's line is disrespectful in that Houston's only a minus 142 favorite right now over a Minnesota team that is missing like 99% of their skill position players. I mean, I think they're down to Aaron Jones and a little bit of Justin Jefferson. You got Jordan Addison that doesn't want to play football anymore. I expect Houston to win this game. Minnesota probably will keep it close. But I think we're probably looking at a 24-20 Houston win on the road. I think you take Houston money line. This is my biggest bet of the year so far. I put a full 3 units on this. Feel like Houston gets the win. No problem.
Ben.
I'm going to take Houston spread at -2 on this one. I believe in Houston, not so much in Minnesota. I didn't believe in Minnesota at the beginning of the year because of Sam Darnold, but they actually pulled off 2 games, which I was kind of surprised. But Houston, I've always been a big fan of them going into the season. I think they're a Super Bowl team, so I'm go with Houston -2 on the spread.
Where's Nico at, Ben?
I'm not going with Nico this time. I think it's more.
Got him last time.
I think it's going to be more of a Diggs game than a Nico game.
Revenge.
Michael.
I'm gonna ruin both of their picks and also take Houston money line, which basically guarantees that the Vikings are gonna win this game.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean in seriousness though, like Houston's the better team. Don't get me wrong. The Vikings I think are better than people anticipated, and I think they will do better throughout the season. But man, Houston's just complete from top to bottom right now. Like it's hard to defend them. I mean, even with Mixon banged up a little bit. With the wide receivers they have, I'm not sure that somebody else can't get plugged in there and still get the job done. So yeah, I like Houston money line here. I mean, Sam Darnold is still Sam Darnold. I think he's progressed, but I think we're going to have a little more correction back to the norm for him. Probably going to throw a pick in this game, maybe 2. He'll probably still get a touchdown or 2, but and then the ghost of Aaron Jones, I don't think he's going to be able to run very good against Houston. So that's where I stand on business.
So I part-time, about to be full-time teacher. And I went to school Monday morning, not with this shirt on, but I have some other Minnesota Vikings apparel, of course.
Try to make sure everybody knows he washes.
And I went to school with my hoodie on. It was pajama day. So, no. I went there to teach 7th graders. And I had a couple during my lunch period come in and look at me and saw the Vikings on my shirt and said, "Hey, Vikings suck. Vikings suck." They're like, they got lucky against San Fran.
Yeah.
They got lucky. They got lucky against San Fran. I'm like, yeah, they got lucky. They led the whole game and got lucky. Yeah, sure. Okay, whatever you say. Say that to say this. Vikings money line all day. We are at home.
Lock it. No balls. Lock it.
All day,
Lock
all
it.
night. It is already
Lock it.
locked. It is locked in
Lock
my
it.
head, and it is locked on paper and locked. And it's my super lock of the week if I had one of those, which we don't. But, yes, I'm locking that one in for sure. Minnesota
Well,
all day. Sam Darnold throwing the ball around like he knows what he's doing. He has no pressure behind him. Nothing to look over his shoulder anymore. He's got nobody that's going to take his job away from him. He's free and clear to do whatever he wants to do, whenever he wants to do it. He's the man. Straight up. And I told people that at the beginning of the season we didn't need JJ necessarily, but we'll take that, that time we have with Sam, let him roll with it, and then if it's time for JJ to come on, it's time for JJ to come on. That time's gonna be maybe next year or later, but right now.
You talking about McCarthy or the real JJ? Because you do need the real JJ.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You may not need
we
McCarthy,
need Jefferson.
but you need the real
We need
JJ.
Jefferson. We need Jefferson, and we got him, and he's locked up for years to come. So we're good.
You
We
guys
With
are
are
the-
we are excited.
With the Isaiah Pacheco injury, I could argue that we have the best, we're the most complete team in the NFL. We have a solid offensive line. We have a Pro Bowl quarterback, maybe MVP level quarterback. Our wide receiver skill positions are great. Mixon has looked like a damn. I don't even know who this is. This isn't Joe Mixon. I'm not sure which Mixon
How's
this
the
is.
injury,
He's been
though?
running back for us, but he's been great this
I
year.
think he's going to play, from what I can tell. It's at least going to be a game time decision, so maybe
Well,
miss the game.
He'll
If
We'll
you
see
don't, I mean, you still got Cam Akers.
You about to get a pissed off Cam Akers too because Minnesota let him
so-
walk.
Is that gonna be another revenge game too? Come on now.
It
I
is.
mean, yeah.
Daniil Hunter's about to come back for the first game. Like, good luck, bud.
Dude, that's what the
Yeah.
Panthers need to do is just start signing everybody off other teams so everybody can have a revenge game when we play them, and then maybe we'll win one.
But they have to be young enough to,
Oh, young?
that.
Oh no, we go for
Yeah.
like 40,
yeah,
36-year-old receivers, 38-year-old quarterbacks, that kind of
Young
thing. You know,
enough. I see what you did there.
yeah.
Look,
some can
It's
be
gonna
too
be-
young.
it's gonna be a hell of a game come Sunday. I'm ready for it, and yeah, we'll see where the cards may lay. But that is a lock. I got that, and
I was gonna screw with you and just
Skull.
go ahead and change your record to 2-9.
Me?
No, Adams. I was gonna
No,
change yours to 2-9. Well, yours will be 2-9 as well. 'cause you
I mean,
played-
yeah.
I'm worried
Let
it's gonna be
us-
1-10.
Yeah.
let us move on to the Eagles at the Saints. Saints are 2.5 point favorites at home. Implied total is 49.5. Ben, the Saints offense has been rolling. I mean, absolutely. Every time Derek Carr has touched David Carr, the ghost of Derek Carr has touched the ball. Every possession that they've had, they've scored points this year. Do they
Yeah.
do the same against Philly?
But the thing is, they're not really doing anything that special, though. I mean, like, are they? They're giving the ball to Alvin Kamara. I mean, anybody knows to do that. They're throwing a deep ball to Shaheed. I mean, they're not really doing.
They're running the
anything
offense right. They're running it the way they're
Yeah,
supposed to run it.
I know. Yeah, it's weird. They're not doing anything too special.
They're playing fundamental football. They're playing smart football, and they're winning games.
Yeah, Philly. I think that game against Atlanta. I don't know what they were doing there. I mean, if Saquon caught that pass,
Not playing fundamental football.
yeah, the game would have been over. He just missed it. I don't know which way to lean on this one. I guess I would take the over if I was going to anything. So, and possibly a Saquon touchdown, but I'm not locking anything in.
Michael?
I'm gonna piggyback off that. I like Saquon touchdown. Had a crucial mistake Monday night. Gonna want to try and make up for it this weekend. I like Saquon to get in the end zone this game. I like Kamara to get in the end zone too, but I'm more sold on Saquon in this one. Plus, I have Kamara as my fantasy back, so it would be nice if you got in the end zone.
I say you can't
Really?
jinx that, can you? Yeah.
No, it was a tough week for me. He only got in the end zone 4 times this past weekend, so sorry, Randy.
It was a tough week for me.
Between him and James Cook. No, but I like Saquon to get a touchdown here. The other lines I really don't like right now. I think they're just in a good spot. They're set right.
Randy?
I had a lot coming up on the next game, but I think I'm going to go ahead and lock in this play. I'm going to go Chris Olave over 59.5 receiving yards. I just think it's going to be the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Rashid Shaheed has looked like a pretty damn good wide receiver too. In this offense, Philly gets absolutely killed through the air. I mean, look at Kirk on that last drive last week. There was like 15 seconds left. I know it was like a minute, but still, like 15 seconds into that drive, they were on the 10, smoking and joking. I think Clint Kubiak might be the best coach in the history of the NFL, and he's only coached 2 games as offensive coordinator of New Orleans. I think Olave bounces back here. He probably has 80, 90, 100 yards and probably a touchdown. So I think 59.5 is kind of a joke. I think he goes over that easy.
Yeah, Kubiaks are notorious for great offenses. His dad and everything. Notorious for his good offenses and his stops. I like what the Saints are doing right now. I like everything they're doing. I'm really not liking the Eagles' defense with Vic Fangio. It is suspect at best at times. They're not performing the way they should be. They're not on top as they have been in years past. this game will probably stay competitive just because of Jalen Hurts and Saquon. But I'm going to take the Saints and I'm locking in money line. So we
I mean, I definitely don't think that. I don't think anybody could looked at, heading into the season week 3 that the Saints would be a favorite over Philly.
Yeah.
No. But the Saints are now the favorite. Well, I say that. I mean, we got a 3-horse battle for NFC South probably this year.
Mm,
2 for sure.
I'm not sold on Atlanta yet.
I'm not sold on Atlanta either. I'm not. But I mean, we'll see what happens down the road. Let's go to the Chargers at the Steelers. Chargers are staying. I guess they stayed somewhere in around Pittsburgh area. I think. I don't know. I didn't hear that, but I'm sure they didn't go back home and flew back out because they were in Carolina this past weekend and they had to stay on the East Coast again. So I'm probably sure they stuck around on this side of the country, right? Anybody heard anything different or?
They probably went to Michigan. Harbaugh's old
They typically stay when they have back-to-back games like that. They typically stay east, from what I remember from previous years. But anyway, Chargers at Pittsburgh.
The last thing I can remember a team doing that was, the team headed back, but Urban stayed behind. I think he went to a bar, maybe.
Okay, I think I heard about that.
Yeah.
That was rough. Yeah. Chargers at Steelers. Steelers are 1.5-point favorites at home. Implied total is 35.5. Actually, Randy, you got anything on this game?
No lock, but I'll just give you kind of a cheap play here if it comes out this way. I think you can take Jaylen Warren over 1.5 receptions. Chargers tied for third most receptions allowed to running backs, and they actually allowed the third most last season as well. And Warren has 2 receptions per game each game starting in 2024. We're starting to ramp him up a little bit more, so I think you can take him for 2+ receptions. I think you hit that one pretty easy.
Ben?
I think this game's going to come down to whichever defender makes the biggest, most impactful plays. Is it going to be TJ Watt or Khalil Mack, for their teams? I don't really have anything I like on this game, so I'll just leave it at that. Just look at the defense. Whoever makes the biggest plays wins the game.
Michael?
I'd probably go under in this game. Harbaugh's really trying to establish the run with the Chargers. And really, the Steelers don't have a great passing attack either. So I think they're just going to both try and ground and pound each other. So I think you're just going to see a lot of 3-and-outs and punts and stuff like that. Like I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. So I like the under on the game overall.
I am going to not lock this in, but I am going to take the no touchdown scored.
Yeah, my concern is one of these offenses gets strip sacked or something and
no touchdown
gets returned for a touchdown because you've got 2 pretty solid pass rushes.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, Fields isn't always the best at protecting the ball.
FanDuel's got a weird line on it. They don't have a no touchdown score as the anytime. They have a no touchdown score first at plus 4,800 and last at plus 4,700. I guess you take either one of those because there's not a touchdown. I don't know.
No.
It's weird.
Double down on it, just in
That's
case.
weird.
First and last, I guess. I don't know. But that's
You said you're going to lock that one in, right?
Not locking that one
He
in.
said
Not
double lock,
locking it
super
in.
lock. He was talking about
Not
super locks
super-
earlier. I think he
Yeah,
said
No,
yeah.
no lock on that one. No lock on that one. But that is my hot take on that game. And it's just these two teams are they just grind everything out. Like Forrest get the under, and in order to get the under, just no touchdowns, and he'll get his under, and that'll be good.
No, you can still
Moving
have
on.
3 touchdowns scored in that game, but
Moving on. Broncos at the Buccaneers. Tampa Bay is 6.5-point favorites, and the implied total is 39.5. Ben, what you got on this game?
I'm gonna go with Buccaneers. Let's see what they are at 6.5. I'll take the spread in this game. I'm not gonna lock it in, but I like Tampa Bay's offense way better than Denver's right now. I mean, Bo Nix it's coming along nicely, but he's just gonna take a little bit more time.
We watching the same games?
When we talk about nicely, what do we mean exactly?
Better than Bryce Young.
I mean, it's debatable.
Oh,
He gets more yards than Bryce, but when he gets to the end zone, he also gives the other team the ball. So
And
it
hey,
is
just
slightly
because
better. I'll
yards,
give you that. It's a
Yeah,
little
yes,
more
yeah,
interesting.
Yes.
That means it's not air yards. His receivers have to run these yards because Bo throws typically, 5 to 10 yards downfield is all he does. So.
I was trying to think of some kind of like comparison. Is this like a mean Mark Callis versus Isaac Yankem DDS situation where you're saying that
Me,
Right
Mark
now they're-
Callaway.
they're both horrible, and later on they're going to become the Undertaker and Kane?
I'm just saying one's going to possibly become the Undertaker. The other one ain't going to become Kane. So
No, we're watching
So
like
we're not
Auburn
going to see our
Bo Nix
brothers
right
of
now.
destruction by them two?
no.
You're hoping for Oregon Bo Nix, but I hate to break it to you, when he faces tough competition, he turns into Auburn Bo Nix, and that's what we're seeing.
He does. He's good from like half the field, and that's it, pretty much. Well, once he crosses the 50, it's like everything. He doesn't know how to do nothing anymore. So once he
Maybe
gets that
sure
down,
Kane- I'm pretty
Maybe
sure
Bryce is really
Bo Nix
good when he gets.
Kane/Bo Nix's brother is Peyton Thorne in Auburn. So just throw that out there.
I was going to say maybe Bryce is really good when he gets to the 20, but we don't know that because we don't ever get there.
yeah.
So maybe it is the opposite,
Maybe, yeah.
In between the 20s, awful. Doesn't. After we get to the red zone, though, he could be spectacular.
I feel like going back to our wrestling reference there, we're probably going to get like fake Undertaker versus fake Diesel. That's what we're going to end up with.
Yeah, I can see that happening. Yeah,
Where does Caleb Williams fit into this? Because Bryce does not have the lowest per attempt yardage, or lowest yards per attempt. That is actually Caleb.
that's true. Yeah,
So it's just funny to me that while he is still young and there's only 2 games in, the Bears were all, oh, you guys got Bryce Young with the pick we gave you, and we got Caleb Williams, and basically all they have right now is taller Bryce Young. Like,
I think personally, Bo Nix is going to be better than Caleb Williams.
oh, I can't get down with that. I still have a lot of
Randy
faith.
just choked and he turned
Yeah.
his mic off. Which is a good thing. 'Cause he just,
Yeah, can we mute him?
Yeah,
well, Ben, I don't know.
This is crazy
Ben,
talk
you know what I'm
here.
saying?
it's crazy. That's just that. If
What you
somebody
sipping
wants
on over
a,
there, Ben?
if somebody wants an
Sipping
actual
over there.
hot take, that's
No.
a hot take. You know,
We need
I
you to
was
lock
a
that
little
in.
solo
Super
shot.
lock it.
I'm not locking that. I'm not
Super
locking
lock.
that.
Hey, let's just restore this for rewind purposes for later. Let's clip this in somewhere later in the year when it's relevant.
Save your brother,
We
man.
will
Next
remember.
game, next
Yeah.
game.
Oh, wait, no, I didn't get to say anything. I
can't.
locked
Michael's
in minus
still-
6.5
Michael's still got to go
bucks.
in this game.
Yeah,
Minus
yeah,
6.5
Michael's
bucks
on
lock.
lock,
I don't
yeah.
see how Broncos even get within 10. I just don't see it.
Randy,
they
what
can't
you got on this
score.
game?
What? Did you just cut Michael off?
He's like, good enough.
I thought he was-
Good enough for me.
I thought he was done.
He said, you can go ahead and chalk that lock up to a fade.
He
Go
said
ahead
he's
and
1
just
and
tear
9.
it
Cut
up.
his mic. Cut his
Yeah,
mic.
go ahead and fade that one. Yeah.
I'm going to defer the rest of my time to Michael because I don't need it.
Okay, good.
Can I super lock and it'll like change all my losses to wins if I get it right?
Yeah, right.
Actually, I'm going to jump back in there because I lied. Actually, my 5th lock is on this game. I'm going to take Bucky Irving over 23.5 rushing yards. Denver, not great against backs on the ground, allows north of 4.5 yards per carry in 24. And in the Tampa Bay backfield, White is averaging 2 yards a carry right now, and Bucky Irving is averaging 5 yards per carry. So if Bucky sees 8 carries times 4.5 yards per carry, check my little basic math, that's like 36, 37 yards. So I'll take the over on 23.5 in this one.
Which means you're also rolling with me here because the idea would be that they get up so many points that old Bucky's in there running a lot.
I could see Michael's record really coming up this week.
Man, I might double. I might double my win total this
Double
week.
it, yeah.
Can anybody find me the interception number on Lockie right there? Drew Lock. Not Drew Lock, excuse me.
Drew Lock,
Bo
yeah,
Nix. Same thing.
Probably 0 if I had to guess.
Bo Nix. Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Can anybody
Probably-
find me that number real quick?
I can look around while
Vandal
you're,
doesn't have it, so that's why I'm asking.
if you want to talk up the rest of the game, I'll look up, try to find a line for you.
Yeah, I'm just going to – if the Bo Nix line is minus 135 or lower,
Minus 160.
Who?
minus 160?
That dude's throwing
Jeez, I'm
a
not
pick.
taking
They
that.
know it. You know it. We
yeah,
all know it.
I can't. That's a wasted bet.
What, you want
It's
to
a
like
wasted
triple
lot.
your money for something that they know is going to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna move on. So we're gonna move on to Packers at Titans. Titans are 2.5 point favorites. The implied total is 37.5. Titans are at home. Revenge game. Malik Willis. Michael, fire away.
I don't see how the Titans can be a favorite after watching their first 2 games. I think this is like the easiest Packers money line ever, especially considering they haven't rolled out Love this week.
Mhm.
They're saying he could play. I doubt he does play, but it would be a perfect Malik Willis revenge game anyway. So you might as well leave him in there. I go Packers money line. I think it's that easy, especially since they're 2.5 point dogs, and you just roll. I think that's the easiest one of the week, which means they're probably gonna get blown out by 30. But that's where I'm rolling.
Randy.
Michael was looking so good for a bounce back week, and then we had to go to this game. He could have just just said pass. It's such a terrible game. Didn't get any play. I don't even know. This is probably like one of those games when it pops on red zone, you just go take a piss. Like I'm not interested in really anything from this game. I have Tony Pollard in fantasy. That's about it.
Ugh. He's no Alvin
Yeah.
Kamara.
Not even close.
I don't really have anything on this game myself. I mean, Love did practice, I think, today in some capacity. That's what I read, but I don't think the Packers will bring him back this early. I don't really like anything in this game. I mean, maybe a Will Levis turnover because he's trying to go do something stupid, but
It's probably like minus 400 or something like that.
it probably is.
Yeah, it's probably not
Just
even worth it.
I mean, he just needs to stick
Oh,
to eating his mayonnaise and doing whatever, and
I think he rubs it on himself.
Wearing his mayonnaise. Wearing
Yeah.
his mayonnaise.
wearing. Okay, wearing his mayonnaise. Well, whatever.
Where's
Whatever,
this show gone? Where did we go wrong?
whatever he does with his mayonnaise, I mean,
Look, I make one solid pick of Packers money line. It just gets derailed completely.
I'm not going to talk about this game to not derail anybody's hopes and dreams. I will just move on because there's a team down in Carolina that's got a new quarterback, and they have gone all the way out west to Vegas to roll the dice against the Raiders. Raiders are 5.5 points favorites. Total is 39.5. Randy, anything on this game?
All right, this one for real. I'm gonna give Michael my time on this one.
Sweet. Red Rifle. Andy Dalton redeems us, puts up a ton of points. We still lose by like 10. I like a Zamir White touchdown in this game. We have been absolutely atrocious against the run. Like, I think any one of us could probably get 50 yards on this Panthers defense at this point. Like, it's that bad. Like, we're going to hurt the next day, but I think we could do it. So I like Zamir White to get a touchdown on this one, especially considering, we haven't even been competitive. So, game flow-wise, you look at this as the Raiders getting a couple of touchdowns early. We're probably moving the ball a little better with Andy Dalton. We might score a little bit, but, we're talking like 17-ish points at best on a good day. So the Raiders will run it a lot, and I think Zamir White gets a touchdown. Maybe 2. But definitely 1.
Ben, you got anything?
I mean, I have no locks or anything really, but I do think all of the Panthers receivers will go over their receptions. Every single
Yeah, I
one.
know. I know Deontay Johnson's like, thank God.
Maybe.
Because
I mean,
I think most of them's like at 3.5 or something like that. So I mean, yeah, I think they're all going to go over.
I mean, Dalton's gonna have to dust off the old arm and see what it's got. It's been a little while.
Did
But
you
he
see?
did.
I saw Schefter posted they had worked out Cam,
Who?
the Panthers.
We tried it once, and this team is awful. I mean, if you want to get some like rushing touchdowns and rushing yards and just use him as like a wildcat, like you probably do that. But I mean, honestly, it can't be any worse than what we're doing. At least he'd be mobile.
I don't know if Carolina can keep this competitive enough for Gardner to have to throw a lot. But if they can, I like Gardner Minshew's over passing yards at 218.5. I'm not locking it in, but I like it.
I don't think he's going to have to throw a lot.
Again, I know it's game flow. That's dependent. That's why I'm not locking it. But if he did, if the game was close and he did have to throw for some reason, then I like his over. He's been one of the most. He's got the fourth most yards thrown this year from a quarterback.
Yeah, but against
I think I
teams that
heard
they
that
should
stat
have
somewhere.
lost to.
I'm gonna throw this out there. I'm gonna pull a Ben from last season and say that the Carolina Panthers were sneaky good against the pass last season because no one had to.
Well,
They were the
you're supposed to overlook that.
Yeah.
They were the fourth best team in the NFL for giving up passing yards
Yeah.
because no one had to pass.
What were the pass attempts after half last season? Like 6.
Oh, it's not good.
I mean, I think it's crazy. The line's only, what is it, -5.5, -5?
They actually gave up.
Like,
Let's see. They gave up 25 fewer passing attempts against them than any other team in the league. So they were at 480, and the next closest team was the Cardinals at 505.
who were also bad last year.
Who were also bad last year.
And I don't know about Ben's take on the Panthers wide receiving core getting, because I mean, face it. I mean, as bad as Bryce is, that offensive line is worse. They're not allowing Bryce the time, and Andy, he's not the most fleet of foot guy in the world. You know,
No, but Andy will just check it no matter where. So he's not going to be like
three
Bryce.
steps and go. I mean, he's
Yeah.
got to. If he holds on to any longer in that, I've seen some video clips of this offensive line. Ooh, I mean, my offensive line in middle school is bad. This offensive line is really bad.
Think of what Stafford did in the Lions game. You know, first half, he
Die.
first read,
Got all of his receivers killed.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, the first read, and he got rid of the ball. That's what Andy's going to
Yeah.
do. These veteran quarterbacks know how to do that. So
I'm with
Yeah.
Adam here, though.
We're
This line is bad.
we're taught in middle school. We've been teaching our line. We just need a hold for about 6 seconds is optimal, but we need a hold the hold.
That sounds like
hold for
most of my
about
first
3 to
dates,
4.
dude. I'm like, all I need is a hold for like 6 seconds.
6
That's
seconds.
all I need.
All I gotta do is hold for about, give them about 6 seconds of time and on the block, and then I mean this line. I mean if that gave Ross 6 seconds, I mean he could probably do some damage, I would think, but I don't know. We shall see. Moving on, Dolphins, Seahawks. Seahawks are 4.5 point favorites at home. The implied total is 41.5. Skylar Thompson will be starting quarterback for Miami. Randy, I'll start with you. What you got?
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This damn game is a graveyard. I don't want to give any picks on it because I don't want to get hurt. I'm gonna pass it on to the next person.
Ben?
I'm not taking any locks on this one, but I would take absolutely nothing in this game.
Okay. Michael?
I mean, I think I'm gonna have to go with them. There's just, I mean, without Tua playing, like I really don't know how that. I mean, for all I know, was it Skylar now?
Mhm.
He could go
No,
off.
yeah.
I mean, all he's really got to do is throw it out there to Waddle and Tyreek. I mean, hell, they can take the damn thing 80 yards at any given time. So they may just do some screen passes, get 3 or 4 touchdowns, doing shit like that, and win the game. Or they may just get blown out by the Seahawks. Like, this game's all over the place. I don't think there's anything safe you can trust. This will probably be the game now after last week of us like, oh, A-Chain's going to get hurt because he's coming off injury. This will probably be the game he gets hurt since Tua is out now. So, I mean,
Waddle's
I
hurt.
don't love it.
DK's hurt. Walker's hurt. There's just so many stars in this game that aren't going to play. Tua's hurt.
Yeah.
Tyreek's only one of 2 of making it to the stadium on time for games this year. Like, you never know.
There's 5 games in the late window, and this is the least appealing to me, even behind the Carolina Raiders game. I mean,
Okay.
It just is.
I think ours. Oh, yeah, you're right. No, that one's still pretty bad.
This one's no. This one doesn't even deserve my time to be narrating on. Let us move on. Lions at Cardinals. Cardinals are, yes, +3 at home again with the implied total of 51.5. Ben, is that disrespectful, or is Aiden Hutchinson going to go offer about another 3.5?
I don't see Hutch getting sacked in this game, to be honest, just because Kyler Murray being mobile. Yeah, I mean,
God, he's so hard to get.
He is. He really is. I mean, of course, he teed off on Baker Mayfield last week. I mean, it's immobile Baker pretty much. So,
Hey, you're good, Ron.
Hey, he had like a 20-yard touchdown run, didn't he? That's my fantasy quarterback. Here, put some respect on his name.
Yeah, no. But in this game, it's going to be high scoring. I'll take the over in this game. I mean, I'm not going to lock it in.
51.5.
Yeah.
It's a lot of points.
Michael?
It is.
Honestly, I like the Cards plus points in this game. I mean, I think it'll be close, and they are at home, and they've played pretty solid. Like, I really felt like they should have beat the Bills week 1. They just kind of let it slip out of their hands towards the end. So, yeah, I'll take Cards plus 3 at home. Like, I think that's pretty solid.
Randy?
I don't really appreciate you guys giving away all my dating tricks. All I need is 6 seconds in a hole. In the end, it just ends up slipping out of your hands. I will say that Cardinals are terrible against ground game. They give up touchdowns on the ground to everyone. I think you pick whatever Lions running back you're feeling and you throw them in there, maybe both. Ever since the Lions have started biting kneecaps, they've gone to the ground heavy, and I'm pretty sure either Montgomery or Gibbs or Reynolds, when he was mixing in, one of them has had a touchdown essentially every game for Detroit ever since Dan Campbell's taken over.
Fair enough. I see this game as being, like I said, very high scoring, very competitive, but I don't have anything really to lock in on this game. I hope it's one of those games I can sit back and enjoy. That's really what I want to do. Just sit back and enjoy 2 teams that could potentially meet in the playoffs later this year.
Can
I do think
recuperate from your Minnesota loss.
I do think, yeah. Correct. No, I'll be coming down for that high of that win, and it's slowly.
Oh, you're high when you said
yeah,
that.
Yeah, you'll be high. Sure. Like,
so yeah.
No. Anyway, so I will move on from this game. This is going to be an enjoyable game to watch. So, Ravens at Cowboys. Cowboys plus 1.5 at home. Implied total of 48.5. Michael, your thoughts?
Look, this lock for me that's coming up feels like a must-have. At this point, you cannot go 0-3 to start the season. I am locking in Ravens money line on the sheer fact that you can't go 0-3. You just can't do it. I get it's the Cowboys. It's in Texas. You can't do it. So I'm going Ravens money line, and I'm locking it in. If I could super lock it, I'd super lock it.
Randy.
I just don't. I mean, this game is literally a coin toss per Vegas. It's minus 108, minus 108. I mean, I don't have any conviction one way or the other. I think the total's about right. I think this is just another one of those games where I'm going to be more interested as a fan than I am in a betting market. I will say, I guess,
Yeah.
before I pass it on, that if you're playing DFS on Sunday and you're feeling good because you closed out the 1 o'clock window and you have 0 PMR remaining for the main slate, you're probably going to lose some money because these games, I feel like this Baltimore Dallas game is going to be good. I feel like the Detroit Arizona game, like you're going to need some players in these games to be able to get some high scores to get to the top of these tournaments this weekend.
Oh yeah, I mean the point totals. You have 3 games pressing 45, 48 points. In the 1 o'clock window, you have 2 games, including the Thursday night game, that are even over 40 for total points.
Yeah,
So
it's gonna-
and then you actually, if you add in the Sunday night game, that adds in a 4th one for the 4:30 slot and on. So yeah, if you don't have any PMR, you can go ahead and kiss it goodbye.
which is FanDuel. FanDuel put the Sunday night game on the main slate now.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah,
I don't
there
like
you
that.
go. So I mean, you've
Yeah.
got 4 games over 40 points. Actually, 5 games over 40 and 4 over 44.5.
Ben, you got anything on this game?
It's going to be a good game to watch. I mean, I have zero idea, who's going to win. I mean, the Ravens need to win. If they start 0-3, I mean, they might miss the playoffs. I mean, Cowboys also need to win. If they're 1-2, they'll be in the back seat for the NFC East. So both these teams are going to be trying to fight it out to get the win. I think the Ravens need it more, so I would go with Ravens money line.
The Ravens division's way tougher. Like they can't afford to go down 0-3. I mean, like you look at the Cowboys 1-2. I mean, Philly's not looked great yet. It's possible they end up 1-2 after this weekend. Nobody's worried about the Giants or the Commanders at this point, or Redskins. That's what I really want to call them. But nobody's worried about them at this point. Neither team is set up to do anything this year. Jaden Daniels, I think, will be probably the best quarterback out of this draft, barring he doesn't run himself into an injury. But I mean, neither team is going to win more than 5-6 games between the Giants or Commanders.
I'm not locking this in, but I do want to see what a Lamar Jackson, Dak Prescott parlayed intersection would be. I like them both to get a pick right here. Again, I'm not locking that in, so don't get me.
Always betting on
get me
people's
started on that.
downfalls. He just loves to bet on the downfalls. Josh Allen wasn't doing it enough for you this year. Had to
He
go
literally
somewhere
just
else.
said, I want to know what the play is for a Dak Prescott, Lamar Jackson interception. Lock it in. I'm not locking it in.
But I'm not locking
No.
it in.
I'm not looking at
Parlay. I'm not locking it in, but I want that parlay of them two throwing an interception in this game because they will. It's gonna happen.
See, the way he said it, though, if it hits, you can just cut off part of it and be like, lock it in. But if it doesn't hit, you cut off that back end and you go, I'm not going to lock this in. But
Did you kick Charlie Murphy? No, I didn't kick Charlie Murphy. Did you kick Charlie Murphy? Yeah, I kicked Charlie Murphy.
Again, it's gonna be a good game, but these quarterbacks have some flaws, obviously. But it's gonna be who has the least amount of turnovers. Both these quarterbacks will probably at least have 1 turnover. It may not be
Yeah,
a
who-who's.
interception. But,
You had me at hoo-hoos.
who's? We shall move on though. 49ers at Rams. Rams are +7 at home. Implied total 44.5. They are beaten, broken, but undeterred. Ben, what do you got?
We have like 76 players injured. I mean, Stafford's worked with Les when he was in Detroit, so I mean, maybe they can come up with a good game plan here and do something. I mean, I'm not gonna lock it in, but if I was betting on this game, I would do the Rams spread +7. I mean, I think Stafford and McVay can put up a good game plan with what they have left. So
it's going to need McVay out there catching passes. At the
pretty much, yeah. Put on Blake Corum. There we go.
Yeah. His 3 carries this year, crushing it.
Yeah.
Michael?
I do have a lock in this game. Tyler Johnson straight to the IR after week 3. The Rams have lost 1 receiver a week to IR. He's next man up, and he's going to be next man down. Go ahead and lock in Tyler Johnson to the IR after week 3. No, but in all seriousness, I do like Mason for a touchdown for the Niners. I mean, the Rams are they're decimated by injuries. I mean, there's just nothing you can do about it. I mean, like, I think Mason's going to get a ton of touches because also the 49ers are slowly starting to stack up injuries as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what is Debo out now for a couple weeks?
He's
Or
doubtful.
did they put him on
for this week.
IR?
He's doubtful right now.
I can't keep track, man. So many dudes get put on the IR right now that it's hard to
Yeah.
tell. But yeah, I got Mason getting a touchdown in this game, and I think it's pretty much as good as gold.
Randy?
Well, you guys were talking about McVay, and I think you're looking at the wrong McVay. I think it's going to be more Timothy McVay because I think it's going to look like a bomb went off. San Francisco, losing that game last week to Minnesota, I think the way they did, they're going to come in here with the Rams, with Timothy and Matthew, and it's just not going to look good when they leave. They're going to come in, destroy a bunch of stuff, and leave. And I don't have any locks left, but I think San Francisco's going to get it done here.
-7 or 49ers seems low to me. I mean, I get it is at LA, but geez.
This is probably a teaser game. You tease it down to like 3.5. Go into parlay.
Well, I saved all my locks for the back end of these games, so here is my second lock, and I have finally a Brandon Ayuk touchdown, anytime touchdown in this game. With Debo out, he becomes the man again at the receiver spot. So, I mean, you could go Jawan Jennings, and that's probably that might happen as well. But Brandon Ayuk, anytime touchdown.
I think Jennings actually has more receptions and yards so far
Yeah, he
than
does.
Ayuk. Yeah,
He does.
I guess that's what happens when you hold out the entire offseason, don't practice with the team.
Don't practice. Yep, that's exactly what happens. We shall move on to the Sunday night game: Chiefs at Falcons. Falcons plus 3.5 at home. It is a 46.5 implied total. Randy, what you got?
Again, I don't have any locks left, but like, how is Kansas City not at least -200 against the Falcons? Like, it just seems like an easy throw 100 on it, or if you want to throw 192 on it, get back 100, whatever you want to do. Like, I see no way. Just like with Minnesota beating San Francisco last week, I see no way that Atlanta is going to beat Kansas City. And I know Minnesota won last week, but I think if you play this game 100 times, Kansas City wins 90 of them.
Did you think Atlanta would beat Philly this past weekend?
I think it's a lot more close than Atlanta beating Kansas City. Because, I mean, to be honest, like, I'm not sure Nick Sirianni is it.
The problem is even if he's not it, he's better than 2/3 of the league. I mean,
But not Andy Reid. You know, like,
no, not any. Well, I mean, but that's an unfair comparison.
I'm just saying, like, whenever I look at large favorites like that, I typically look at like quarterback and the coach. Like, if one team has a clear advantage in both of those, then it's kind of a done deal. I think what I misconstrued last week was not so much Sam Darnold, but I think Kevin O'Connell has proven that he can get it done even when the chips aren't stacked for him. Like, this isn't a great Minnesota roster, but he's coaching it pretty well.
Yeah.
Dan, what do you got?
I'm gonna use my last lock and take Kansas City spread, which is -3.5. So, I just don't see Atlanta being able to stay competitive in this game, to be honest.
Michael?
Yeah, I'm with these guys. I mean, I feel like Kansas City will win this game. I think even at 3.5, it's probably still pretty good because, I mean, Kirk's still not right. I mean, like, yeah, he got some things done against Philly. But, I mean, Philly really should have put them out in that game. Like, Saquon catches that last pass, and it's at least a first down, but probably a touchdown, and it's over. Kansas City's defense is a lot more stout than Philly's, which is going to cause more issues. And, I mean, at this point, really, even the Chiefs' offense looks better. Philly's been in a funk for about 9 weeks, football weeks-wise. Like, I mean, if you go back to last year, what were they, like 1-7 their last 8?
I think they're
1-6
3-8 in their last 11. I think is what I saw the other
Yeah,
day.
they've been out of funk or something. I mean, So I don't think you can necessarily judge the Falcons by the other night. So yeah, I like the Chiefs minus 3.5 in this game. I don't want to lock it, but I feel pretty good about it.
I am going to use my third lock, and we're going to do Travis Kelce, anytime touchdown. He doesn't have one this year. It's time. He's way overdue.
Sunday night, Swift's going to be there. It's against Atlanta. They suck against tight ends.
Refs are just going to keep calling pass interferences in the end zone until they can get it.
Correct.
I saw something that said he's had what was it, 17 interceptions since 2019 called back, given back to Kansas City due to pass interference or something or maybe it might have been 27. It seemed like a lot. It might have been 27. And I'm like, oh my God. But I mean, hell, it does seem like every other week they have one that gets called back.
Let's go to Monday night. We have 2 games. First game is the Jaguars at Buffalo. Buffalo's 4.5-point favorites. Total is 45.5. Michael, you got anything?
Yeah, I mean, I like the Bills to cover the spread here. I don't think the Jaguars are very good, and I don't think Trevor Lawrence is getting any better. I think he got to a point. He looked like he was about to ascend even more, and then he's kind of dropped down, and then he's just been kind of leveled out there. I don't know if it's the Doug Peterson system they're running or what, but he doesn't look that good to me. He's got a long release. Takes forever to get rid of the ball. I think the Bills do work. It's a primetime game. Josh Allen's been there before. So yeah, I like the Bills to cover.
Randy?
I mean, having watched Trevor Lawrence in his entire college career, he's not nearly as good as everybody thought he was. I would say he's probably a top 16, 18 quarterback in the NFL, but he's never going to be the guy. They're not winning a Super Bowl with him. His decision making is terrible. I forgot who all was here this weekend, but the last drive for Jacksonville, I basically called it play by play because I've seen it play out so many times. And then he drives him down, throws a pick, and it's just not a fan. Wanted to be a fan as a Clemson fan, wanted to be a fan of Trevor Lawrence, but he's just not it. I don't have any plays in this game.
I'll take a Josh Allen anytime touchdown. I mean, that's all I have. These 2 teams, I mean, we know Buffalo is starting to show their identity even more, and Jacksonville, we just don't know who they are.
I believe Buffalo will win this game. I have my 4th lock in this game. Y'all probably know what it is. Dalton Kincaid touchdown.
Oh wow, I was gonna go with Josh Allen interception, but
What? Really?
I'm going to give Josh another week of respite.
Do you not hate Josh Allen anymore? I mean,
I never hated Josh Allen.
That's a man that's been burned too many times.
right?
I just don't believe he's an elite quarterback, and you have to prove me otherwise. He'll go on a run here later this year, but right now he's getting another week off. I gave him last week off because his line was way too high for an interception, and he didn't throw one.
So here's the issue. He may not be necessarily an elite quarterback, but with the current quarterbacks that are out there, he is elite in this group of quarterbacks. I personally think this year is one of the worst group of starting quarterbacks we've seen in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
You have about 3 or 4 guys where you're like, I feel good about them, if even. Because at this point, Mahomes, Stroud, I mean,
Sam
do y'all
Darnold.
feel?
Yeah.
No, you go talk to a Jets fan before you go declaring that. But
yeah.
in all seriousness, Darnold's 2 good games to start the year. He also did that for Carolina, so we'll see how that goes for you. Who else other than Stroud and Mahomes?
Okay,
they're
can
going to get it done.
Can we go to a second tier then? I guess
You can go to a 5th tier before you get to Sam Darnold.
Darnold and Derek Carr and Kyler Murray.
Hell no.
The fact that you're saying Derek Carr with Sam Darnold is enough for me to know that Sam Darnold is not the guy. Like, I'm
No.
just saying, like, you look at this quarterbacks, I mean, who
I mean,
else do you go that if you start a franchise today and I told you, give me 5 quarterbacks, would the other 3 with Stroud and Mahomes be even in the same realm as them? And I know Stroud's very small sample size, 19, 20 games,
Yeah.
but I've just seen enough from just those games to know that he's not going to just suddenly drop off.
Can I throw this out there?
Yes.
Does anybody have any play in this last game, this shitty game between Washington and
Yes.
Cincinnati?
I still have
You
a
do
lot.
have a plan?
I tell you, the
I
line is
do.
way too high for Cincinnati.
I got nothing. ESPN is going to market it as a LSU versus LSU quarterback type deal, and that's going to be about it.
Jamar Chase, anytime touchdown, done.
Okay.
Okay.
You
That's
said
it.
you had one, Michael?
That's my lock.
I don't have
That's
a
my
I don't
lock.
have a lock, but if you're feeling frisky, I like the Commanders to win this game.
All right, let's take about
Ooh.
2 minutes and let's discuss. Let's run down who's your top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. If you were starting a franchise right now, you got the number 1 pick. You can take anybody in the league. 1 through 5. Who wants to go first?
I'll just go with number 1, CJ. If I could,
Stroud over Mahomes?
he's younger. He's younger.
Yeah, but Mahomes is still only like 27. Like
Yeah.
quarterback wise, in an Andy
Yeah.
Reid offense, that's not very old.
But Andy Reid doesn't come with him, so you're just picking quarterback. So
But who's your 5, Ben?
I would go CJ, Mahomes, Love. I would still throw Stafford in there.
A little
And
worse.
yeah,
Just wait till I throw Bryson number 5. You guys get ready.
I'll throw Josh Allen number 5. But I mean, because Stephon Diggs really might have been the problem all along. Josh Allen's working with less than what he had before. So
Okay, then I'm going to rearrange the rules here because I think Ben just gave his list of quarterbacks right now. So anybody want to go next?
I mean, I think mine's still going to hit either which way, but I go Mahomes 1. I just the dude's a 3-time Super Bowl winning champ.
Yes.
As good as Stroud is, he has not gotten there yet.
No.
However, I'm going Stroud 2. After that, I'm probably going Allen, which I don't even think Allen's elite. That's my point in this whole, let's make a list. Allen is really good. I don't think he's elite. He turns the ball over way too much. But I'm going Allen at 3. Then I'm probably going, for future purposes, probably Love. He's prototypically, he's built well. He's meshing with young receivers that aren't proven. He's showing something. And then after that, I mean, I was really feeling Hurts before, but Hurts has kind of been, I mean, it'd be some sort of Hurts or Lamar Jackson, but it'd be hard for me to pick. I guess if gun to my head made me pick, I'd probably go with Hurts because I think he's the slightly better passer.
You want to go next, Adam?
Yeah, I'll go. And I mean, the sentiment's the same. I mean, you have Mahomes because he's proven. He's at number 1, clear number 1. Stroud is catching him, though. Stroud is absolutely catching him. And he can be there in about 5 years, given if he keeps doing his trajectory. If it keeps on, probably within 5 years, he will surpass Mahomes or be right there even with him. But he is closer to number 1. Stroud is than 3 is closer to him, personally, in my opinion. There's a fall off. There's a decently significant fall off from 2 to 3. And then this group gets kind of muddied up. But consensus, I love Jordan Love. I love what he's done. I like the fact that he had to stay behind a quarterback, wait his turn. It didn't stunt his growth like it has other quarterbacks. There's only a few quarterbacks that come straight from college and play in the pros. C.J. Stroud is one of them that, hands down, thrive doing that. I mean, he's a once in a generational quarterback. I mean, Mahomes is like, I don't know, generations go every 10 years roughly, I guess. It's Mahomes, he's not 10 years yet in the league. He's like 6 years, I guess, right?
yeah, I think so.
Is that accurate? I don't know exactly the
Something
number.
like that.
But yeah, so maybe half a generation talent. So you got Mahomes and you got Stroud, then you got Love. And then 4 and 5, I mean, like Fuller was saying, Hurts, he was there. He's somewhere there, and then probably Lamar, but Lamar's not proven. Neither is Allen. They're all just in there. Herbert can do things if he listens to Harbaugh and gets going, but I don't know if that's Harbaugh's guy or not, so we'll figure that out later. That's all in just a muddy group. And then you do that, and Herbert probably is the gap between him and Allen and is probably farther down in that realm. And then you got another. Herbert's probably down there with Dak in a group of about another 4 with Burrow and I'll go currently. I guess it would be Baker down there. And Jared Goff. And then after that, it falls off. It falls off completely. It's just in a different realm.
I think I would love to put Burrow up there. The injuries just scare me. If you like we said, you were starting a franchise, you got to pick. Burrow's had some significant injuries.
Yeah, he has
missed a lot of time, and I don't think he's right now. I think he's got some issues to work through on that wrist. Like I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I think all it's going to take is him to fall on it wrong.
I don't think Burrow's elite. He just has elite players around him.
I think when healthy, he's elite.
I don't think his players are that elite.
I don't think so either.
I mean, you take
Randy,
Chase off that team, and are you excited about their weapons?
I'm not excited about Chase, if we're being perfectly honest. I think he's overhyped.
I don't think he's JJ.
He's not even in the same tier as Justin Jefferson, I don't think. I think he's more of a Brandon Ayuk type receiver.
Your list.
So there's 3 quarterbacks that I think that you could, maybe 4, 3.5, but you could take and you could run any offense.
You got Kyler Murray in there or something?
No.
Oh.
So you could take these 3.5 guys and you could run any offense with them. Mahomes is a GOAT level player. He's in his own tier by himself, not even close.
Yeah, like a Brady or Manning.
CJ Stroud is a generational quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he might be – I think tier 1 is Mahomes, tier 2 is just Stroud. Then you fall off a mountain to tier 3, which is the next quarterback that you could run any offense with, Jordan Love. The next quarterback that you could run any offense with, and I hate saying this, would be Dak. But I think if you gave him better skill players outside of just CeeDee Lamb, I think he could win you a playoff game or 2, but you're never going to see a Super Bowl with Dak.
Better coaching too would be helpful.
Then you got another fall off with Burrow. You got the injuries. Josh Allen really, if you don't run a specific offense, he's not like if he has to drop back and just throw all game, you're in trouble. Stafford, good but old. Lamar, same kind of thing. Like if you take away his rushing ability, I'm not scared of Lamar at all. Same thing with Kyler. If you take away his legs, I'm not scared of him. Tua's one-dimensional. He's not moving. He's a statue. And with the concussions and everything, he's kind of out of there. And then Jalen Hurts. Like, if he has to drop back and throw 40, 50 times a game, I think you're in trouble. So I think there's only 3 clear guys, and then it gets super muddy. I think it's the Mahomes, Stroud, Love, and then it's just kind of like, if this was a draft, I would just take another position. I'd wait it out, and I'd take whatever fell.
Look at us all be in agreement with a top 3.
Yeah.
Well, and it's one of those two. Like Purdy looks good. I don't think you could go throw Purdy in any offense and him be good.
No,
I think he's running it very well, better than people in the past. But
he's the pro version of like Stetson Bennett at Georgia.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of talent around him, and he distributes.
Yeah, I mean, but he can make the plays. So.
Okay, back on target.
With that, yes, back on track. With that being said, let's go over our locks of the week. Let's see if we could do better than we have last couple of weeks.
I didn't set the bar very high for myself,
and Michael. Let's see if we go catch Randy, guys. Let's see if we can do that. Let's go to the Thursday night game. We had a lock on that one, didn't we?
Yeah, Brees Hall, anytime touchdown.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and put an 8 on
Early.
Ben's number there.
Yeah, just do that real quick.
You just go ahead and put 14 on the end of mine.
Moving on to Sunday, Giants and Browns. We got any locks on that, gentlemen? I didn't think we did we?
Yeah, we do.
Did we?
Oh, we did.
Yep, I do.
Oh yeah, Daniel Jones under 21.5 completions for you.
Got it. Got it. If I go too fast for it, let me know, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Bears and Colts. Any locks?
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead, Randy.
Cairo Santos over 5.5 kicker points, which I've been on money on these kicker props all year.
No Fairbairn. You need to go Kaimi Fairbairn.
Yeah, he's been killing it.
Dude's
Too.
been getting
Yeah,
like
he's been
17
good
points a
too.
game.
Yeah.
He won me a
I get-
matchup.
I got Indy spread. I think what's -2.
Minus 1.5. Yeah. We know that song and dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I've actually got one too. I've got AR rushing touchdown.
Oh, go ahead. You and your quarterback rushing touchdowns.
Okay, for starters, I think that one was a rushing touchdown, just so we're aware, by a quarterback. I'm pretty sure it was Jaden Daniels.
Yes. Houston and Minnesota.
Hell yeah, Houston money line. Let's get it.
Skull. Vikings money line. Let's go.
We're about to take your ass.
Are
to
those
school.
y'all's locks?
Hell yeah. You want to put money on the side?
Yes.
At least you'll keep it out of Vegas.
Right.
That is true.
You'll get better odds, actually.
Yeah.
We'll talk later.
I got Houston spread on that one. I think it's -2 right now. Also,
Minus 2.5 is what I got, but I don't know. It could be something like minus
Do you
2.
want 2 or you want -2.5?
DraftKings has that -2, so I want -2.
Okay.
-2. You got want the chance for a push.
Yeah,
Yeah,
should
just in
make a
case.
difference. Field goal, but I guess somebody could have a safety.
Yeah, good.
Eagles at Saints.
Lock Chris Olave over 59.5 receiving yards.
I don't have anything.
No, I got nothing.
Okay. Moving on. Chargers at Steelers.
Puff, puff, pass.
Nothing.
Yep. Pass.
Broncos at Buccaneers.
Bucky Irving over 23.5 rushing yards. Also, if he's available in your fantasy league, I would pick him up because I think he's the starter by week 6.
I've got Tampa -6.5.
Packers, Titans.
Should probably know I have no locks left.
Packers money line for me.
Panthers, Raiders.
Samir White touchdown for me. How does he not get one? I mean, come on.
Madison stole that one last week.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of playing the Carolina Panthers. There's going to be plenty to go around.
And you get a touchdown. And you.
I mean, like you could go, man, Madison had 3 touchdowns. I'd be like, Zamir got 1 though, didn't he? Oh yeah, he got 1. Like that's how this game probably will go.
Dolphins, Seahawks.
Pass.
Lions, Cardinals.
Nope.
Love the game. Don't have any locks left.
Pass. You gonna get 1 on 1?
Ravens, Cowboys.
I got Ravens money line. They
That's gotta be
can't
it for
go
you, right?
0-3. They can't go 0-3. They can't do it.
49ers, Rams.
Nope.
No, I'm out
I
now.
got my Brandon
Ayuk.
Ayuk anytime touchdown. Chiefs, Falcons.
I got Kansas City spread -3.5.
And I got Travis Kelce anytime touchdown.
Kind of like both of those.
Jaguars, Bill. I think everybody's done, right? Except for me.
Yeah, I think everybody's done. Yeah.
I didn't get all of Ben's.
What? You didn't get all mine?
I have Brees, TD, Indy -1.5, Houston -2, KC -3.5.
Oh, maybe I didn't have one here. I'll throw in. Let's see.
Blake Corum 3 rushes.
I thought you did. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I know damn well he ain't taking Aiden Hutchinson sack this week against Tyler.
Yeah.
Let's throw in the Hutch sack.
Oh my
Oh.
god, dude! Earlier, you can't let us coerce you
not?
into it.
I was like, no, don't do it.
No, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go with it.
Can we use one
Jaguars,
for last week?
Bills. I have Dalton Kincaid anytime touchdown.
You might want to go anytime reception at this point.
And Commanders and Bengals. I got Jamar Chase anytime touchdown.
Got burned on that one last week. Good luck. Got burned real bad. That's one of those 9 over there.
All right, our host still asleep, so I'm gonna jump in here. That
Okay,
completes
go
our
ahead,
locks
Carl.
for the week. And if you guys remember earlier in the video, we said we're gonna do a competition over the year. Drop your like down in the comments. Let us know what you guys think, and we'll tally it up. Get you guys in the contest for the drawing at the end of the year to get you guys some money. And I'm gonna send it back to our host, who is hopefully not frozen.
I am not frozen. I am finishing out this parlay.
All I can say is if I go 0-5 again this week, I'm hosting next week.
Can we just
I
change
don't
your
have
name
any
to
pressure. Fades of the week. Fade it.
Maybe we put a segment at the end, Michael's fades of the week, instead of
Michael's
like,
fades of the week.
But if we do it that way, the crazier thing is I'll be more effective than you.
better go for truth.
That's it.
Just stay away from all these picks. Go the opposite direction. You should be fine.
You know, week one's always kind of tricky because there's so many coaching changes. So it's kind of tough to figure out who was who from last year, that kind of thing, unless you kind of pick on the games that the coaching staffs stayed the same. I mean, week two's typically a lot of like, have you guys seen that short, like 2 guys in traffic, one guy pulls up and the other guy's blocking traffic. He's like, do you not know how to effing drive? And the guy's like,
No, I don't.
no, I don't know how any of this shit works. That's kind of what week 2 felt like.
Yeah,
And
it was
then-
really. I felt like it was really weird. You expected teams to get right or to take another step, and everybody either like fell off, other than for some reason the Saints, Bucks, and Vikings. Everybody else was just like, oh, forget about it. Didn't
If
do
you
what I
want
wanted
to,
to
if
do.
you want to get some good money down, go look at NFC playoff numbers right now, because you can get a lot of these teams that may be 0-2 or 1-1. That, like Green Bay, is going to sneak back in this thing fast when Jordan Love gets back.
Are y'all ready for the?
Potentially the Ravens if
Parlay
I
of the
lose
week?
my pick.
I'm scared of your parlay of the week because none of these have hit.
Oh
so
yeah,
far.
you should be.
The problem
You
is
should
if he
be.
adds any of ours down at the
Plus-
bottom, he's
Yeah,
supposed to be
plus-
out.
plus 1080 on this parlay of the week. Tampa Bay
Houston money
Buccaneers
line.
-6.5.
Yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs -3.5. Travis Kelce anytime touchdown. Houston Texans money line
Nah, I knew it.
plus 1080.
He's like, I'm gonna make money somehow. Problem is, you're gonna miss the other
Possibly.
3.
You want my pushback or no?
Yeah,
I would not take Tampa Bay because I feel like at some point that plane is going to crash back down to the earth. And Atlanta always keeps games close, so I would just take Kansas City money line, and I would find a different leg outside of Tampa Bay. I'm not sure whose play Tampa Bay was.
It was me, so it's very hard to argue with you.
that record speaks for itself. So yeah, we can. Well, with
Maybe-
that, like Randy said, if you don't mind dropping your locks of the weekend, and we'll see how you compare with us. And if you hit one of your locks, like I said, we'll get you in for a little contest drawing at the end of the regular season. With that, y'all go watch and enjoy some football this weekend. I know I will. And we'll see y'all next week.
Subscribe to the channel.
See you.